Hey guys, I'm Shay, and today I'm going to be doing my wrap-up for January and my TBR for February. So for the month of January, I actually read 4 books, and that's actually pretty good for me. I was really proud of myself. I think that's probably the most books that I've read in a month for a while. So with that, I will get started on the first book that I read in January. So the first book that I read was a great one. Actually, like all the books that I read this month were really great, except for like maybe one. But anyway, the first book that I read was Winter by Marissa Meyer, and this is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles. And it was really, really good. I think this is probably my favorite out of all 4. And I just felt like the ending was really good. It really wrapped up the whole series really well, and a lot of times like series don't wrap up very well, so I was really pleased with the ending for this one, and I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read last month was TheDarkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, and I've had the series for a while, and for some odd reason I just haven't started reading it yet, so I decided to pick it up and start now. And it was good. It was kind of slow goings at first, but I kind of expected that because I heard from a lot of people that it's slow at first and like the last part of the book is really actiony and exciting, and it was. I really liked the last part of the book. I think that's what gets you into reading the next books. So actually I'm currently working on Never Fade right now, and we'll see where that goes. So yes, this one was good. I think I gave this one like 4 out of 5 or maybe like 3.5 out of 5 just because at the beginning was kind of slower. After TheDarkest Minds, I read a book that has been sitting on my shelf for literally like 3 years, and that was The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. And this was actually the book that we read for our book club in January, and I ended up actually giving it like 2.5 out of 5 stars. I was not a big fan of this book. I think maybe I'm just kind of getting burnt out on like post-apocalyptic survival stories, even though I feel like I haven't read that many, but I've seen a lot of like TV shows or movies or whatever that had that premise, and so I just kind of got tired of it. But yeah, so I wasn't a huge fan of this one. I don't think I'm going to be picking up the second book, and we went and saw the movie, and the movie wasn't that great either, so I think I'm just done with that whole like franchise, whatever you want to call it. A little disappointed, but I'm glad I got this one out of the way. That's just one less that I have on my bookshelf that I need to read. And then finally, the last book that I read in January is The Martian by Andy Weir. And this one, oh my gosh, it was so good. I'll say I'm not a fan of sci-fi. Like, I'm not a sci-fi person. I don't really care that much about space and like science and just all that stuff. But this book was so good. I finished it in 2 days. I was like on the edge of my seat, figuratively, like the entire book, and the ending was just like gripping and like heart-wrenching and just so good. And then actually I watched the movie last night, and they actually did a really good job at like keeping with the book. There were a couple things that they had to change, but I think it's because the movie was already 2.5 hours long, or 2 hours and something long, and so if they kept adding all the extra things that happened in the book, then it would have been like 5 hours long, which I actually probably would have been okay with, except for the fact that it was like 2 in the morning by the time we finished watching it, and I was really tired. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a review for this book, and it should be up in the next few weeks, so when it is up I will link it down below. So there you go. So that is it for the wrap-up portion of this video. I'm now going to get on to my TBR for February. So first up is the book that I am currently reading, which is the second book of the Darkest Minds trilogy, Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, and I'm not very far into it. I'm just like really, I just started it. So I can't really tell how it's going yet because I haven't really had a chance to decide if I like it or not. But if it's anything like the first one, I'm sure I will like it. Maybe it'll take me a few hundred pages to actually really get into it, but I'm sure it's going to be great. And then the only other book that I'm actually like positive that I'm going to read this month is the book club book for this month, and that is Passenger, also by Alexandra Bracken. So yeah, at the end of the month we'll be posting a review on it, and this is another one that I'm excited to read because it has gotten a lot of really good reviews. And it's really just, the premise is really interesting sounding to me, and so yeah, it'll probably won't be until like the end of the month because I don't like reading a book that I'm going to be reviewing at the end of the month, like partway through the month, because if I read any books between then and when I film, then I might forget something, or I don't know. So it's got to be fresh in my mind. So this one will be more towards the end of the month. And as far as the rest of the month goes, I don't really know what else I'm going to read. I've decided for this year I'm not going to be doing like the TBR jar challenge or really setting exactly what books I want to read for the month, just because I don't know how I'm going to be feeling. I might like be in the mood for, I don't know, like a contemporary or like a high fantasy or something, but I won't know until I actually get there. So that's going to be it for my TBR for this month. Let me know what you guys are going to read this month, and if you have any suggestions for what I should read, then let me know, and maybe I will read them. And so yeah, so that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye!